So this is the first in my series of 6 jump exercises. I know we all don't have loads of jump equipment, but that shouldn't stop you from training well. You can do a lot more than you think with just 6 jumps. This exercise has a little bit of everything in it: related distances, turns and rollbacks. It definitely has enough to keep you on your toes. There's also a nice little warm-up exercise that will prepare you and your horse nicely for the exercise to come. So as you already know, there are only 6 jumps in this setup, but a lot of them are related, so you'll need to set it up in this order for it all to work out well. So you start off with the line up the top long side of your arena. It's an oxer to a vertical that rides down on 6 strides, and it walks the standard 28 paces. You jump the oxer from both directions, so make sure you have a ground line on both sides of it. Then we set up the next related distance, which is from this oxer to the vertical in the line you just set up. It also rides on 6 strides and also walks 28 paces on the curve. And then the last related distance, also on a curve. This one rides down on 5 strides though, so it walks the standard 24 paces for the 5 strides. Next, you set up a vertical over here at this angle, making sure you can get this ride to it. And the last jump is this oxer at an angle like so. Take care to allow this ride away from it. And lastly, the cavalettis. First, set up this related distance over here. It rides 6 strides, so it walks 26 paces for the 6 strides. And lastly, these 2 cavalettis, 6 strides on the curve from these 2 jumps. They pace out at 27 paces for the 6 strides. And that's it, you're all set up and ready to go. Remember, there's a link to a JPEG of the course plan in the description below, so that it's easy to set up off your phone. So I always include cavalettis of some sort in my warm-up. I think they're a great way to get your eye in for jumping, as well as get your horse nice and adjustable and responsive. So this is just a simple 6 stride related distance between 2 cavalettis. They're also a good way to gauge your pace. If you're finding the distance between the cavalettis a bit long, there's a good chance that your canter pace is a bit slow and you may need to pick it up a bit, which is good to know before you start jumping. And then once you're going down on 6 strides, well, practice a little collection and go down on 7. Once you're doing these well, you should be ready to start jumping. So this little cavaletti after the jump exercise is really good to speed up your reaction time, as well as shorten the time it takes to get your horse's canter balanced and organized after a jump. It certainly doesn't do your accuracy at riding a related distance on a curve any harm either. So you just want to sit up early and take up the contact and try get your horse sitting on its hocks again, so it would be ready to jump another jump before you get to the cavaletti in the 6 strides. Once you're doing the vertical well, move on to the oxer. If this takes longer than expected, dedicate your first jump to getting this right and jump the full exercise next time you jump. You don't want to be doing too much in one day. And now you should be ready to ride the whole exercise. There are a few pressure points you need to know about, so make sure you watch the next chapter as well. So these two turns are pretty tight, and it's easy to lose some energy in your canter here, which will give you a quiet ride to the approaching jump. Now it wouldn't be too much of a problem if there were just a single jump, but you're jumping into a related distance, and it will make the related distance ride a little long. So if you find that you've had a quiet ride into the related distance, make sure you act super quickly and get onto the direct line, which will make the related distance ride shorter and get you out of trouble. So if you find that you've had a quiet ride into the related distance, make sure you act super quickly and get onto the direct line, which will make the related distance ride shorter and get you out of trouble.